shone on the castle wa'. The mavis sang while dewdrops hing around her on the castle wa'. Sae merrily they danced.
I silks and the knaves their wine, a man for all that, for all that and all that, the tinsel show and all that, the honest man though essay poor, is king of men for all that. Ye see young Perky Carol was strats a stairs Setus was here at this, here not but senseless asses, for the wisest man the world e'er saw, he dearly loved the lasses. Green grow the rushes, green grow the rushes, the sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses, the lasses, Old nature swears the lovely dears, the noblest work she classes,
There was a lad was born in Kyle, but what a day or what a style, a dude it's hardly worth a while to be so nice wi' Robin. Robin was a Robin boy, a hunting Robin, Robin. Robin was a Robin boy, a hunting Robin. Poor monarchs in most year but yen, was 25 days begun. 'Twas then a blast o' January wind blew Hansel in on Robin. Robin was a roving boy, a ranting Robin, Robin. Robin was a roving boy, a ranting Robin. As sure as 3 times 3 mak 9, I see by Elka score and line, this chap will dearly like your kind, so lease thee on the Robin. Robin was a roving boy, a ranting Robin, Robin. Robin was a roving boy, a ranting Robin. Oh, the earths, the wind can blow, I dearly loue the west, for there the bonny lassie lives, the lassie I loue best, where wild woods grow and rivers row, and mony a hill between. But day and night my fancy's flight is ever wi' my Jean. I like her in my yard, and my young garden green again. I like her in my yard, and see my bonny Jean again. There's none shall ken, there's none can guess what brings me back the gate again. But she, my fairest faithful lass, in Stowlands we shall meet again. I like her in my yard, and my young garden green again. I like her in my yard, and see my bonny Jean again. She'll wander by the akin tree when tryst and time draws near again, and when I see her lovely form, oh hath she's doubly dear again. I like her in my yard, and my young garden green again. I like her in my yard, and see my bonny Jean again. There is a star whose beaming ray is shed on every clime. It shines by night, it shines by day, and ne'er grows dim wi' time. It rose upon the banks o' Ayr, it shone on Doon's clear stream. 200 years is gane and bare, yet brighter grows its beam. Let kings and warriors rise and fall, this world has many turns, but bright beams of in them all. The star Honorary burns. On fame's emblazoned page enshrined, his name is foremost now, and mony a costly wreath's been twined to grace his honest brow. All Scotland's heart expands with joy whene'er the day returns that gave the world its peasant boy, immortal Robbie Burns. Let kings and warriors rise and fall, this world has many turns, but bright beams of in them all. The star Honorary burns, but bright
The Reverend, the Chaplain to the University.
Let us pray. Veni Sancti Spiritus, replitorum corda fidelium, et tui amoris in eis ignem accendi, qui per diversitatem linguarum cunctarum, gentes in unitate fidei congregasti. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful, and kindle in them the fire of your love. For you are the one who, in spite of differences in language, gathered the nations into a unity of faith. Amen.
On this grey November morning, I extend a very warm welcome to all of the students and their parents, families. I welcome you all this morning. Vashagu Olhai Opa Ian, please would you be seated. Dr. Duncan.
Pro-Chancellor, graduands, lords, ladies, and gentlemen, it is both a pleasure and a privilege for me to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony today, on behalf of both the Business School and the School of Law. It is an honour to welcome you all to the University of Aberdeen, and in particular to this splendid and historic building that we are sitting in right now. It is steeped in history, and it's a place where many, many graduands have passed before you in here, myself included. Many of you graduating today have been supported by family and friends, and many of them are sitting in this room here and in others nearby. Some may have provided moral support, others perhaps financial support. They will have helped you in your life, and you will have changed their life too. Please, will you all be upstanding right now? And I'd like you to give a very vigorous round of applause to each other in appreciation of all your efforts. So please be upstanding, everyone. And on the count of three, let's go for it. Stop a little moment. It's maybe not quite good enough yet. Maybe have the odd little stamp of the feet and a little bit more volume. Thank you. We're almost there. We're almost there. A few more shouts would be good, and plenty of volume. Let's give it one last try. Go. Thank you very, very much. That's a proper round of applause. So, I was going to say a graduation is a very formal ceremony. You can sit, by the way. but it is also a celebration of your efforts. And I would encourage you all to celebrate and basically support the achievements of each of you as you come up to receive your degree. So that means plenty of this, and we now know the right volume we're looking for, so keep up the good work. Thank you on that. This might help, I think. This university, since its foundation in 1495, has graduated many students who have gone on to play a significant part in medicine, science, technology, political and social society. Each has contributed to both society and life. There are a great many of these people that you've never heard of, but nevertheless the world would be a much poorer place if these people had not been able to give and make that contribution. Bishop Elphinstone, the founder of this university, he believed very strongly that education would be a good means of empowering people. He was also keen that education should be made available to as many people as possible. And from that point of view, in that spirit, the university today continues that tradition to make education as available to as many people as it possibly can. So, graduands, now that you've all completed your journey here and are ready to graduate, there's one thing that I want to say to you all. You may have finished your journey through the University of Aberdeen, but rather than think of this as the end of your educational journey, you should rather think of this as the beginning of the rest of your life. You should continuously strive to both increase your own knowledge and to do your best to help others all the way through their journey, both in work and in life. Since 1495, this university has been doing just that. The School of Law, for example, is now one of the top 5 law schools in the country. The business school continues to retain a focus on growing and developing the best business school possible. Indeed, the university has recently been recognised by being declared Scottish University of the Year 2019 by the Sunday Times, rising in the process to join the top 3 universities of this country. The School of Law is delighted to see so many of you graduate with higher degrees, particularly with a higher number of PhD awards than has been seen previously. Likewise, the Business School is also delighted to see so many of you being awarded today. In your time here, you've all worked very hard to achieve the successful outcome represented by this graduation ceremony today. You can be justly proud of your achievements, as can your peers around you be proud of theirs. On this stage today, you will be able to see some of the people who taught you. They may have marked your work, ran your courses, or perhaps supervised your projects. And they too are also justifiably proud of your achievements. Graduation is a time of reflection, and it's worth taking a moment to reflect on the help and assistance that you've had from your peers, friends, and family throughout this journey. A great many friendships are made during this time, and you will find that a great many of those will go on to stand the test of time. You often make friends for life while you come through this university. Graduation also represents a time of transition for you, because you're moving from one particular life, the academic life, and you're moving into a new life where you might be going to move on to a new career. It will be quite exciting, but equally it might be a little anxious as you get yourself into your new position. And perhaps even you might be moving into a higher level position given the higher level of your degrees. By being here today, you have proved you have the ability to absorb knowledge at a high level. You can develop an understanding beyond merely the ability to recall facts and figures. You will therefore be in a position to make a much greater contribution to society. Remember always to have faith in yourself and your abilities. Always work hard at whatever you turn your mind to. Bear in mind that now you've become an expert in something. This specialist knowledge and expertise will allow you to see underlying patterns more clearly. It will allow you to relate ideas more quickly, and which in turn will allow you to solve problems much more easily. Do not, of course, assume that you know everything. No one can. We must always learn as we go through life. You should always be aware of the limit of your knowledge and act accordingly. You've developed here the capacity to reflect on the assumptions that underlie any question, any argument, any hypothesis or debate. These skills are fundamental to allow you to be a clearly focused critical thinker. This is a valuable skill to have. Nurture and polish this skill as you journey through this next phase of your life. You've also gained experience and confidence, which will make you better able to participate in informed discussion and debate. It allows you to better construct and articulate any argument you have, and this is obviously a very good thing. You'll also have been able to develop an understanding of perspectives other than your own. This will make you a more reflective individual, but it will also mean you will be open to thinking about problem solutions in a different way. Above all, you may have acquired skills beyond the academic skills that you clearly are in possession of. Things like living on a shoestring. Things like delivering assessments at the very last minute. Things like learning how to sleep in lectures or tutorials in such a way that you sit with your eyes open and you can even hold on to your mobile phone without it falling down. All very useful life skills. Finally, you should know that through your achievements, you are a credit to this institution and the many graduands who have gone before. Thank you very much.
Dr. Gordon.
Pro-Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting to you for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa, Lord Darling of Rollnish. Alistair Darling, Lord Darling of Rollnish, has, in a career spanning more than 30 years, been one of the most influential and recognisable figures in the political life of Scotland and the United Kingdom. Born in London and raised in Surrey, Kirkcaldy and Edinburgh, Alistair Darling is an alumnus of this university, where he was president of the Student Representative Council and from which he graduated LLB in 1976. He went on to enjoy a successful legal career, spending several years in practice as a solicitor before being called to the bar in 1984. It is, however, for his political career that he is best known. He served as a member of Lothian Regional Council before entering Parliament in 1987. There he served as an MP, first for Edinburgh Central and then for Edinburgh South West until 2015. In this capacity, he put his legal training to good use as the parliamentary sponsor of the Solicitors Scotland Act 1998, which amended and updated the legal framework for the oversight and governance of the solicitor's profession in Scotland. In opposition, he joined the front bench in 1998, acting first as spokesman on Home Office and latterly Treasury affairs. Upon the election of a Labour government in 1997, he entered the Cabinet as Chief Secretary to the Treasury before successively becoming Secretary of State for Social Security, Work and Pensions, Transport, Scotland and Trade and Industry. In 2007, he returned to the Treasury, this time in the role of Chancellor of the Exchequer. He had by this point built up an unrivalled reputation as an unflappable and highly dependable operator, characteristics that he was to require to the fullest extent possible as the banking crisis of 2008 broke around him. On 7th October 2008, he had to step out of a meeting of European finance ministers to take a call from the chairman of the Royal Bank of Scotland. Such calls are rarely good news. He was calling to let him know that the bank was set to run out of money in as little as 2 to 3 hours. With characteristic understatement, Alistair Darling has described that as a scary moment. Pro-Chancellor, I think if I had found myself in that situation, I might have struggled to express myself quite as politely as that. But Alistair Darling, the government and their civil servants had a plan in place. It was duly implemented, and although this came at significant economic cost, confidence returned, the crisis was averted, and the storm ridden out over time. One hopes that the other political storms breaking around us at present will in time be ridden out too. Following his time in government, he has undertaken a range of commercial and charitable activities while remaining active in public life, most notably as chairman of the Better Together campaign in the Scottish independence referendum. Upon his retirement as an MP, he was appointed to the House of Lords as Baron Darling of Rollnish in December 2015. Today, as a university, we wish to recognise and celebrate this very distinguished alumnus's significant contribution to public life through the award of this honorary degree. Pro-Chancellor, I now ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa upon Lord Darling of Rollnish.
Ego te utriusque iuris tam canonici quancubilis doctorum et magistrum constituo creo proclama renuntio et insignum capituum hoc pileo orno quod ut felix fastunque sit deum optimum maximum precor. Now, Anthony White is moving to the front of the hall, and he will perform I Giorni by Einaudi. And Anthony White is in his first year reading for the degree of Bachelor of Music, and he is the David and June Gordon Memorial Senior Organ Scholar at King's College Chapel, where he performs at the weekly services and accompanies the choir. Thank you very much. Professor Key, promoter of graduands.
Domine procancellare, domine doctores et magistri et tota universitas, presento vobis hos candidatus, examine probatus, et gradium doctoratus in philosophia promovendos.
Annuenti sonata placet promovere.
Ascendant Rashta El Ghazawi.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes almae qui universitate amplissimam docerunt te in philosophia doctorem et magistrum creo, in cuius rei testimonium capituum hoc pileo orno quod ut felix vastumque sit deum optimum maximum precor. Well done.
Adeniki Esan.
Et te creo.
Debroshi Gosh.
Et te creo.
Jane Holiday.
Et te creo.
Carol Langston.
Et te creo.
Jingsen Liu.
Et te creo.
Luis Loria Robedo.
Et te creo.
Augustinus Moan.
Et te creo.
Onyoya Moma.
Et te creo.
Catherine Ndanaka.
Et te creo.
Ngozi Ole.
Et te creo.
Tanathep Tian Presit.
Et te creo.
Iguolo Vani.
Et te creo.
Althea Wright.
Et te creo.
Item prosento vobis hos candidatus examine probatus ad graduum magistratus in scientia promovendus.
Annuenti sonata placet promovere.
Ascendant Catty Bignell.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes almae qui universitate amplissimam docerunt te in scientia magistrum creo, in cuius rei testimonium capituum hoc pileo orno quod ut felix vasumque sit deum optimum maximum precor.
Samantha Perry.
Et te creo.
Isabella Maurer.
Ete Creo.
Christina Rachiva.
Ete Creo.
Michael Cavalry.
Ete Creo.
Lei Zhang.
Ete Creo.
Chu Quinn Zhao.
Ete Creo.
Harry Batchelor.
Ete Creo.
Wen Hao Bi.
Ete Creo.
Supervit Chakitchoran.
Ete Creo.
Yun Han Cheng.
Ete Creo.
Christina Drizzleonica.
Ete Creo.
Oluchi Egano.
Ete Creo.
Stefan Fletcher.
Ete Creo.
Josian Fao Mbindi.
Ete Creo.
Julian Geisler.
Ete Creo.
James Gordon.
Ete Creo.
Stefan Kroger.
Ete Creo.
Boo Hoo.
Ete Creo.
Chen Huang.
Ete Creo.
Men Meng Zhang.
Ete Creo.
Fahan Karadundan.
Ete Creo.
Xuan Chen Lu.
Ete Creo.
Dasmini Mahalingam.
Ete Creo.
Esnietska Mikrovska.
Ete Creo.
Weise Kwan.
Ete Creo.
Tim Record.
Ete Creo.
Christoph Ries.
Ete Creo.
Tunwa Sarich-Jawa.
Ete Creo.
Benoit Sicard.
Ete Creo.
Lindsay Stewart.
Ete Creo.
Sandra Uglin.
Ete Creo.
Yu Hee Wang,
Ete Creo,
Ang Shi,
Ete Creo,
Ji Zhangyang,
Ete Creo,
Tai Hao Yu,
Ete Creo,
Shuran Zhang,
Ete Creo,
Jingxing Jiu,
Ete Creo,
Yu Yingshu,
Ete Creo,
Camilla Louise Aurora,
Ete Creo,
Qing Shen,
Ete Creo,
Qian Yi Sheng,
Ete Creo,
Chan Chu Chong,
Ete Creo,
Si Han Ding,
Ete Creo,
Wen Tao Gay,
Ete Creo,
Yu Chen Gay,
Ete Creo,
Han Yu Fei,
Ete Creo,
Xing Hao,
Ete Creo,
Grant Heath,
Ete Creo,
Katja Krieger,
Ete Creo,
Cheng Li,
Ete Creo,
Annette Mund,
Ete Creo,
Sarah Newanji,
Ete Creo,
Sasha Nagaji,
Ete Creo,
Hannah Olawai,
Ete Creo,
Kamal Chanok Soroya Ampon,
Ete Creo,
Annabelle Valdez Peralta,
Ete Creo,
Shengxi Wang,
Ete Creo,
Maximilian Weiss,
Ete Creo,
Hao Zhang,
Ete Creo,
Tong Xiao.
Ete Creo.
Jason Joseph.
Ete Creo.
Aaron McPherson.
Ete Creo.
Elizabeth Sarpong.
Ete Creo.
Ewan Scott.
Ete Creo.
Ksenia Trukan.
Ete Creo.
Item presento vobis hos candidatus, examine probatus, ad gradium magistratus in scientia economia promovendos.
Annuenti sonati placet promovere.
Ascendant Joanna Adu Asamoah.
Ego authoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes almae huic universitati amplissima mendoserunt, te in scientia economiae magistrum creo, in curios rei testimonium capitum hoc pelio orno quod ut felix postum quisit, deum optimum maximum precor.
Diane Angelov.
Ete Creo.
Julia Bastinello.
Ete Creo.
Cheng Yi Chang.
Ete Creo.
Simela Charalampadu.
Ete Creo.
Stuart Don.
Ete Creo.
Jing Fu.
Ete Creo.
Lyndon Keel.
Ete Creo.
Nicola Lane.
Ete Creo.
Zara Lawrence.
Ete Creo.
Yisha Lee.
Ete Creo.
Xiao Li.
Ete Creo.
Xizhuang Li. Lu.
Ete Creo.
Thank you.
Mohammed Salifu.
Ete Creo.
Callum Sandilands.
Ete Creo.
Yujing Tang.
Ete Creo. Now the University of Aberdeen Chapel Choir will come to the front of the hall and they're going to perform Caledonia by Dougie MacLean. The university's chapel choir, which today is conducted by Professor Paul Milor, has established a truly international reputation with 3 top-selling albums. It regularly broadcasts on television and radio, they have sung on numerous occasions for the Queen and other members of the royal family, as well as to actors and politicians. And this weekend, the choir travels to New York on a singing tour. Thank you all very much. Professor Key, Promoter of Graduands.
Item presento vobis hos candidatus, examine probatus ad gradium magistratus in scientia ocenaemia promovendos.
Annuenti sonatu placet promovere.
Ascendant Wanda Veli Wilman.
Ego era auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes amae quic universitati amplifim mandulserunt te in scientia economiae magistrum creo in curious rei testimonium capitum hoc filio orno quod ut felix pastunque sit deum optimum maximum precor.
Yan Yan.
Et te creo.
Ru Kui Zhang.
Et te creo.
Ya Ping Zhang.
Ete Crea.
Hamish McPherson.
Ete Crea.
George Ramsey.
Ete Crea.
Xiaowei Shen.
Ete Crea.
Kian Solomon.
Ete Crea.
Sheng Shan.
Ete Crea.
Sarah Donoso Zapata.
Ete Crea.
Xinrui Xi.
Ete Crea.
Nai Kui Xing.
Ete Crea.
Jing Lin.
Ete Crea.
Kangza Lu.
Ete Crea.
Letting Liu.
Ete Crea.
Yaquing Liu.
Ete Crea.
Xiaojing Lu.
Ete Crea.
Zhang Yu Liu.
Ete Crea.
Lynette Otiti.
Ete Crea. Well done.
Suzette Otu.
Ete Crea.
Mingjun Ku.
Ete Crea.
Blair Robertson.
Ete Crea.
Manmen Wang.
Ete Crea.
Yifeng Xia.
Ete Crea.
Yi Yang.
Ete Crea.
Hongfei Zhang.
Ete Crea.
Leng Yi Shang.
Ete Crea.
Yu Jun Zhang.
Ete Crea.
Yao Zhang.
Ete Crea.
Senor Fialo.
Ete Crea.
Gopnath Gosai.
Ete Crea.
Elvin Kileo.
Ete Crea.
Putri Ramadani.
Ete Crea.
Cesar Villanova Mendoza.
Ete Crea.
Serafina Wirinari.
Ete Claire.
Itam presento vobis hos candidatus, examine probatus, ad gradium magistratus in negocius administratus promovendos.
And you went to sonata placet promovere.
Ascendant Wen Ping Li.
Ego autoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes almae huic universitate amplissimum docerunt te in legotis administrantis magistrum creo in curios rei testimonium caput tuum hoc filio orno quod ut felix postunque sit deum optimum maximum precor.
Rati Seth.
Et te crea.
Marceli Garcias de Freitas Pinheir Horn.
Et te crea.
Jean Ignoba Ignoba.
Et te crea.
Veronica Karim Enriquez.
Et te crea.
Yusuf Seydou.
Et te crea.
Item presento vobis hos candidatus, examine probatus, ad gradium magistratus in artibus liberalibus promovendos.
Annuentis sonata placet promovere.
Ascendat Lukpu Songmani.
Ego erat autoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes almae huic universitate amplissimum docerunt te in artibus liberalibus magistrum creo in curios rei testimonium caput tuum hoc filio orno quod ut felix postunque sit deum optimum maximum precor.
Qui honores meruant ascendant Andrew Raymond.
Et te crea.
Anthony Bowen.
Et te crea.
Judith Anderson.
Et te crea.
Item presento vobis hos candidatus, examine probatus, et gradium magistratus in utroque iure promovendos.
Annuentis sonata placet promovere.
Ascendant Craig Christie.
Ego erat autoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes almae huic universitate amplissimum docerunt te in utroque iure magistrum creo in curios rei testimonium caput tuum hoc filio orno quod ut felix postunque sit deum optimum maximum precor.
Sridhatri Bandaru.
Et te crea.
Cassius Tuoggio.
Et te crea.
Lois Kesania.
Et te crea.
Ingrid Craig.
Et te crea.
Patrick Gomez.
It take prayer.
Vivian Velade Wilson.
It take prayer.
Saeed Hamid.
It take prayer.
Tony Andrews.
It take prayer.
Cherise Francis.
It take prayer.
Almame Manga.
It take prayer.
David Bemidel Abagandi.
It take prayer.
Daphne Berghorst.
It take prayer.
Thanat Danikiku.
It take prayer.
Thirapat Kraiwiwat.
It take prayer.
Konstantin Dugulugorov.
It take prayer.
Karolina Frizova.
It take prayer.
Janrawi Kultana Panarich.
It take prayer.
Methachai Kudabonvij.
It take prayer.
Paramet Leo Weeprom.
It take prayer.
Mari Makadoon.
It take prayer.
Christina Meldon.
It take prayer.
Vasuthan Nimakorn.
It take prayer.
Rebecca Ofele.
It take prayer.
Valentin Oramek.
It take prayer.
Safathorn Pichuetcha.
It take prayer.
Sazimon Ratatankul.
It take prayer.
Hikari Saito.
It take prayer.
Nanthapchaphorn Thepsuvan.
It take prayer.
Gilam de Velo.
It take prayer.
Lorna Hewitt.
It take prayer.
Emma Jones.
It take prayer.
Helda Soaz Menchera says Samento.
It take prayer.
Shilpi Jinkran.
take Trail.
Julia Lindner.
Take Trail.
Oliver Toby Edenyinka.
Take Trail.
Jao Antunes Kunha.
Take Trail.
Hussein Badreddin.
Take Trail.
Victoria Deem.
Take Trail.
Ju Dongare.
Take Trail.
Matthias Gitu.
Take Trail.
Agnieszka Skripowska.
Take Trail.
Ranchana Syria Ampon.
Take Trail.
Vanessa Castillo Monroy.
Take Trail.
Cecilia Chichango.
Take Trail.
Tamara Jagmon.
Take Trail.
Carlo McLeod.
Take Trail.
Karina Sanchez Garcia.
Take Trail.
Itam presento vobis host candidatus examine probatus ad graduum baccalaureatus in utroque jure promovendos.
And eventis sonati placet promovere.
Ascendant Ria Ingram Smith.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissime principes armaequi universitate implicitum docerunt te in utroque iure baccalaureum creo, in cuius rei testimonium capitum hoc filio orno quod ut felix postumque sit deum optimum maximum precor.
Bria Lindsay Murray.
Take Trail.
Cameron McCrum.
Take Trail. Good. Lord Darling.
Pro-Chancellor, members of the Senate and university staff, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for bestowing this honour upon me. And can I also especially thank Dr. Gordon for his promotion of my candidature. I've always been struck in the last 5 years or so just how nice people are about you once they're absolutely certain you're not coming back. A lesson that all of you might want to bear in mind for your future life. But congratulations too to everybody who has graduated today. This is a great day. You've achieved an awful lot. I hope you enjoy your celebrations that are to come and you make the most of your time here in Aberdeen. One of the things that I was very conscious of when I was a student was, of course, your academic studies are important. Of course, what you do with the qualifications you get is important too. But part of being at university, and certainly part of what it meant to me to be at Aberdeen University, is just the broader experience of growing up, of learning about things, absorbing things, because it will all contribute to whatever you do in the future. In my time here, like I suppose most of you, I had someone to advise me. In those days, the post was called the Director of Studies. Now, it's probably fair to say that our relationship, the two of us, wasn't quite as close as it might have been, in that he not unreasonably took the view that my purpose of being at Aberdeen University was to study the law and perhaps not do so much of the broader things that I was referring to. And I was surprised, therefore, a couple of years ago to receive a letter from him, since we hadn't really been in correspondence for the previous 43 years. And he wrote to me, and he said, "I would record that I found frustrating your ability to judge what was needed to pass exams. I did often think that if more time devoted to law work and not to student politics, your marks might have been a lot better. Then history has shown that your decision was justifiable." Honestly, I did set out to study law when I was here, and I did practice law for a number of years before I became diverted, I thought temporarily, in 1987 to doing something different. Indeed, I was reflecting that one of the things that all of you will find is that the days when you set out on one particular career, one particular course of action or employment are very much coming to an end. You will do several things between starting out and ending your work. So you do need to be resilient, and you need to be adaptable. I remember in 1973, I decided to study employment law, which I thought would be quite useful. And at that time, the then Conservative government had passed a piece of very controversial legislation called the Industrial Relations Act of 1971. There were demonstrations against it, went on and on and on. And in the beginning of 1974, that government found itself in huge difficulties. It was one of the earlier miners' strikes. There were blackouts, people sitting around the tables with candles. And the government went to the country on the slogan, "Who governs Britain?" And the answer came back, "Well, not you anyway." And the incoming Labour government then announced that it was going to have a referendum, believe it or not, on whether or not we should remain in what was then the common market, which is now the European Union. The point is that everything we'd been taught in labour law, which was founded on two things, one was the Industrial Relations Act, and two, the advent of European law, completely fell to bits. Anyway, it was decided that as nobody had a clue what was going to happen in the future, sounds strangely familiar, doesn't it? That we would nonetheless be examined on what we had taught, even though everybody knew it wasn't the law any longer, and we'd have no use of it whatsoever for the rest of our working lives. So that adaptability is very, very important. Little did I think that 40 years later, when I came back to this university, we're in a very similar position, having to deal with the fallout of yet another referendum. I hope the other thing that this university has done for you is to build your confidence and your belief in yourselves. It is so important to have that self-confidence, the ability to question, the ability to listen to what people have got to say, but then to reach a judgment. Dr. Gordon was referring to the banking crisis of 10 years ago, and I well remember the night that he refers to when I met the chairman, the chief executive of Britain's biggest banks, and told them what we were planning to do to stop a complete financial meltdown. And the last thing I said to them before they left is, whatever you do when you leave here, do not talk to anyone about this, because if it gets out that the British government is going to have to underwrite the entire banking system, there will be panic. Now, it may or may not surprise you to know it took precisely 35 minutes for the first call from the BBC, then Financial Times, with a very accurate account of what had taken place at that meeting, and that is why the next morning RBS, its shares simply tanked. And RBS at that time, to give you some perspective, was the biggest bank in the world. By size, it was the same size as the British economy, which is the fifth biggest in the world. It was a very big bank. So when I was summoned out of that meeting to speak to the then chairman, and my experience is calls from banks are never good news, no matter where you're standing, it did shake me to the core when he said that they were hemorrhaging money, and he said, what are you going to do about it? And I said, you know, you're asking me what I'm going to do about it. And when I said to him, how long can you last? He said, maybe 3 hours. When you think about it, if the bank machines were switched off, the bank drawers were shut, and anyone anywhere in the world who had an account with a bank would start thinking, if that big bank can go down, so can everything else. And people who had no money, no ability to buy food, to buy petrol for their cars and so on. Confidence is something that you need at a time like that. And confidence is something that comes partly from experience, but also partly from a good, solid, sound education like the one that you've been having here. And when I talk about self-confidence, let me just say one other thing. Confidence sits very easily with, from time to time, a bit of self-doubt. Don't knock self-doubt. Don't be afraid to question yourself. Indeed, when I look at, frankly, the mess that we face at the moment, when we're facing the biggest decisions that we have done since the end of the Second World War, when I look at the divisions, the polarization that is taking place, a bit of self-doubt among some of the people now responsible for conducting the affairs of our country wouldn't go amiss. Don't knock it. But be confident in yourselves, though, because the world now needs people who are self-confident, who believe in themselves, who are not going to get squeezed out by the extremes, but are prepared to stand up and be counted. So I hope that you've enjoyed your 4 years here at this university. I hope that your parents and friends will value too what you've experienced, because you will never forget it. I spent 4 of the happiest years of my life here in Aberdeen in the 1970s, and I've never forgotten it. I still enjoy coming back here because it brings back so many fond memories. So congratulations to you all. Have self-belief, have confidence in yourselves, but above all, and today of all days, enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Now, please may I ask you to stand and to join with me in singing God Save the Queen. The Reverend, the chaplain to the university.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warmly upon your face. May the rains fall softly upon your fields. And until we meet again, may you be held in the palm of God's hand. Amen.